Mary Ann, can you join?
Yes.
So no problem. Okay, if you have any problem joining the class, do let me know from time to time. So I'll start with the previous exercise 3.1b. Hopefully 3.1a you are able to do it. Okay, so 3.1b over here first. So you can look at question number 1. The table below shows some of the benefits of personal accident insurance offered by Sharikat Insurance RST. So you can look at the benefit of accidental death, which is the total coverage of 100,000, and then total and permanent disability 200,000, permanent disability 150,000. So the annual premium based on occupation for class 1 and 2 is 364.75, and for class 3 is 1,065 ringgit and 40 cents. So if you look at class 1 over here, what is the occupation that involved? Occupation in low risk industry and in office. So this referring to those who works in low risk lah, like the one that working in the office and so on. Okay, and then for class 2, occupation involving non-manual works with semi-hazardous industry, which is not really hazardous yet. And then for class 3 is the occupation involving manual works and use of tools or machinery. Okay, so in your opinion, what makes the premium for class 3 occupation higher than class 1 and class 2? So you can see there's so much difference of the amount over here, which costs 1,000 plus, but then this one is only 300 plus. So for sure, when you look at when you compare the occupation over here, class 1, 2, 3, the one that involve the higher risk will have to pay a higher premium. Okay, so the answer you can see from the back of the textbook. The risk of being involved in an accident for occupation in class 3 is higher than class 1 and class 2. So you have to talk about the risk, okay, the risk of being involved in an accident. So that is for question number 1. This one is easy. Let's move on to question number 2 here. Okay, so the question number 2 over here, they show you the table of the annual premium rate for 1,000 face value. So this one is important, 1,000 face value of a renewable life insurance offered by an insurance company. So you are shown to the age from 27 to 30 over here for male and female, both smoker and also non-smoker. Based on the face value of 120,000, calculate the annual premium for a 29-year-old man who smokes and a 29-year-old man who does not smoke. So if 29 years old, you refer to 29 here. And then for non-smoker, this is the red, and for smoker, this is the red. So down here, I've already shown you the working owner. Okay, so you can look at the answer for A over here. The annual premium for a smoker is the face value, which is 120,000. You write down over the premium rate, the 1,000. So over 1,000, you multiply by 2.75 because the rate for smoker is 2.75. And you calculate, then you will get RM 330. Check your answer. After that, for the non-smoker, so the same thing over here, you just multiply by 2.12 and you will have the value of 254.40. So make sure you check your answer on both of the question over here. Okay, now we continue with question B here. Calculate the annual premium for a 30-year-old woman who smokes and a 30-year-old woman who does not smoke. So I've already circled down 30 years old, non-smoker and also non-smoker here. So the calculation is the same, everything, just that you need to change the rate. So non-smoker, a smoker over here is 1.46. You follow this. Non-smoker is 1.23. So you have the answer of 175.20. And then this one is 147.6. Okay, that is for question number 2. Then we continue with question number 3. Do you have any problems so far?
No.
No.
No problem.
Okay, good. So we carry on with question number 3 over here. Instead, Zakri stays in Peninsular Malaysia. So bear in mind, this one is Peninsular Malaysia, not Sabah and Sarawak. He wants to buy a motor insurance policy. The following is the information regarding the vehicle he wants to insure. So the sum insured is 85,000. Age of vehicle is 6 years. The engine capacity is 2494 cc. The NCD is 30%. Okay, they ask you to calculate the gross premium for the comprehensive policy, the third party fire and theft policy, and the third party policy based on the schedule of motor tariff 2015. So the schedule I've already pasted on the right. Later on, I will show you how to do that. Okay, so there are 3 tasks that you need to do right now by finding the gross premium of the comprehensive policy. That is the first one. The third party fire and theft policy, that is the second one. And then the third party policy, that's the third one. So for the comprehensive policy, hopefully you still remember the formula. You are going to find out the basic premium first. So the basic premium, you got to refer to the motor tariff. Okay, by referring to the motor tariff, you can see the engine capacity is 2494. So it's under this category. Because this one is 2200, that is less than that, but the number is greater than this, so you have to choose this category. So for comprehensive policy is 372.6. Therefore, I have 372.6 over here, plus 84. Why 84? Because it is 85,000. You deduct the first 1,000 that came into this one. So 84 times 26 is a fixed figure, the one that you have learned in the previous lesson, whereby for Sabah and Sarawak is 20 ringgit 30 cents, right? But then for Peninsula is 26 ringgit. So after you multiply, you will get a sum of 2556.60. This one. You check your answer. Okay, after you found the basic premium, then you are going to find the gross premium. Gross premium is the basic premium. You deduct the, what do you call this? Do you still remember?
NCD.
Very good. That is the non-claim discount, the NCD. So after we deduct the NCD, we will have a sum of 1,789.62. So you check your answer over here. Okay, so for each of these condition, you have to look for the basic premium and also the gross premium. Now we move to the second policy, which is the third party fire and theft policy. Okay, so the basic premium for the third party over here is 25560.6 multiplied by 0.75, because for the third party fire and theft policy, it is 75% out of the basic premium for the comprehensive policy. That's why we have to multiply by 0.75, so you will get 1917.45. Okay, then you can find the gross premium already from by deduct the NCD from the basic premium. So this is what we have over here. You are going to deduct 1917.45 multiplied by 0.3. So the answer that we have is 1342.21. This one. Do you have any answer other than this? No, exactly the same. You must have the same answer. Okay, it cannot be different. If your answer is different, most probably is your NCD's value over here is different. Okay, now if you look at the third party policy, so third party policy, you are just going to refer to the tariff regarding the basic premium. So if you refer to the tariff, it is 167.40 cents. So that is how I have it over here. The basic premium is 167.40. Then you can find the gross premium by deducting the NCD again, using 167.4 times 0.3. Therefore, the answer is 117.18. Okay. Any question regarding this?
No.
No.
Okay, good. So
No
that's
questions.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So that's all for the discussion on this 3.1b. Then we will move on. Okay, so this is what you are going to learn today, which is solving problem involving insurance. Okay, and then we are going to finish this chapter also. So if you look at the picture over there, looking at the conversation given, okay, this person, he was asking, why can't I receive full compensation when his car is damaged over there? He involved in an accident. Okay, and then from the other one, this is what he said to him. The loss you incur is 5,500. The insurance company will pay 5,300. Okay, the balance of 200 will be borne by you. So he has to borne the 200 over here. Okay, then if you look at this one, There are several provisions in the insurance contract that may cause the policyholder to receive compensation less than the actual loss and hence have to bear part of the loss. So among these provisions are deductible and co-insurance, which is also known as joint insurance. This one. Okay. So I'm going to move on. Cikgu To is also having class now. I move over there. You give me some time, because I make sure you can hear properly. Okay. Sorry, So let's carry on here. Okay, now we are going to see what is a deductible. If you look at the explanation given over here, deductible is an amount that must be borne by the policyholder before they can make a claim from the insurance company. So you got to remember this. It is an amount that must be borne by the policyholder. Okay, because it depends on some of the insurance. They will state over there how much is the deductible from the insurance of the policy. Okay, so we continue over here. Deductible is commonly found in the contract of a property insurance, medical and health insurance, and motor insurance. So if you look at this property insurance, we didn't learn property insurance, right? Because at first you learn only the fire insurance. So actually property insurance over here, it covers almost everything, which is the fire insurance, the flood insurance, the earthquake insurance, and so on, which is involving your property. Okay, and then this provision is not in the life insurance and personal liability insurance. So for life insurance, we don't have deductible. And then personal liability insurance, what is this? This is referring to something like if you are if you have a dog and then your dog bite a visitor to your house, so you have to pay for that. That is a personal liability insurance. Okay, and for example, you have a son, or you have a son, but then your son smoked and then he left a cigarette in somewhere else or some other people's house, and then it caused the fire of that house. So that one is also under personal liability insurance. Okay, so we look at example 4 to apply on what is a deductible over here. Okay, Madam Suhaila has purchased motor insurance for her car with a deductible provision of 300. Okay, so we have to bear in mind about this one. During the insurance coverage period, Madam Suhaila suffered 3 accidents. The losses suffered in March, July, and August were 2,800, 250, and also 400 respectively. So they ask you to state whether Madam Suhaila can make a claim for the losses suffered. If yes, state the amount of compensation that can be claimed for each loss. So for March, the amount is 2,800. Can she make a claim? Yes, she can, because the amount is already exceed her deductible provision. But then how much she can claim is that she have to deduct from the deductible provision first, which is 300. So 2,800 deduct 300, the amount of the compensation is only 2,500. Whereas for July is 250, she cannot claim for it because the amount is less than the deductible amount. So no compensation can be made. And then for August, 400, yes, she can, but then only 100 after the deductible. Okay, this one. So if you look at this part down here, in motor insurance, the policyholder is responsible for a compulsory deductible of 400. If the insured vehicle is driven by an individual who is not named in the policy, okay, who is named in the policy but under 21 years old, and who is a holder of a provisional driving license, the L license, or the holder of a full driving license of less than 2 years. Okay, holding the L license, but then less than 2 years. Sorry, holding the driving license, but lack of experience. And then other deductibles are at the discretion of the insurance company. So this one is a fixed one. I can show you my insurance is in the insurance policy. And this one, this is mine over here. So if I move down, you can see actually what everything that taught in the book is actually almost the same as the one that's shown in the policy. Where is it already? This one. Can you see the compulsory access? Can you see that class? The compulsory access? Yes, right? Okay, so you can see where you have to bear an additional excess of RM 400 if you or the person driving your car is you or yourself, or the person that driving the car is under the age of 21, or holds a provisional or holds a learner driver's license, or not named in your policy as a named driver. So this one is actually considered a deductible of 400. Okay, so we move on now. Now we look at the example 5 given here. Shirlene has a medical insurance policy with a deductible of 30,000, okay, per year, with an annual limit of 300,000. In the first year of her insured period, Shirlene had been hospitalized for appendix surgery, and the treatment cost was 8,000. That is the treatment cost. Okay, in the following year, Shirlene underwent heart surgery, and the treatment cost was 210,000. Set the amount borne by Shirlene and the amount paid by the insurance company for the first and the second year of her insurance period. Okay, so for the first year, the treatment cost is 8,000. Okay, therefore, you can see the deductible over here given is 30,000. But then her insurance cost over here, the treatment is only 8,000. Therefore, she cannot claim for the insurance. And then she have to bond the amount of 8,000. Okay, so we continue. Down here for the second year, what happened? Because the treatment cost is already 210,000 over here. Therefore, the amount covered by Shirlene is 30,000, which is referring to the deductible up here. This one, the deductible. Okay, and then to find out the amount that is paid by the insurance company, it will be 210,000. There is a treatment cost, deduct the deductible. This one. Okay, so she can get a RM 180,000 that is paid by the insurance company. Okay, so you just bear in mind next time. It depends on your deductible. If your deductible is more than what is your treatment, then you have to borne everything of the cost of the treatment. If the deductible is less than that, then you can minus the deductible. The rest will be borne by the insurance company. It will be paid by the insurance company. Are you okay, class?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that one is about deductible for the treatment and also for the motor insurance. Now we enter into the co-insurance. Co-insurance in a property of, co-insurance in property insurance. Okay, so co-insurance is the cost sharing of the loss between the insurance company and the policyholder. Okay, that is when you buy an insurance, you have to share the cost. The cost won't be much, but then you have to share among you yourself and the insurance company. So if you look at the paragraph given, the explanation all here. For the co-insurance clause in property insurance, the policyholder is required to insure his property at a certain amount based on the percentage of co-insurance determined by the insurance company from the insurable value of the property. If this co-insurance provision is not met, the policyholder will have to bear some of the losses together with the insurance company. Therefore, if the policyholder wishes to recover full compensation for the partial loss incurred, he must insure the property in accordance with his core insurance provisions over here, which means from the provision of the insurance, he must follow and pay a full sum of amount. Okay, if he pay less than that, then he has to pay the co-insurance together with the insurance company. Okay, so if you look at the amount of required insurance over here, it is equal to the percentage of co-insurance multiplied by the insurable value of property. Okay, that is the amount of required insurance. You need to know this word. The required insurance meaning that is the amount that is required from the policy. Okay, and then you have amount of compensation. So it depends on three situations over here. You can see look at the three situation. Now, the first situation, if the insured value is equal to the amount of required insurance, for example, if the insurance company told you that you have to pay a lump sum of 100,000 for your policy, so you just follow, you pay a 100,000. So that is the same value. Okay, when it comes to compensation, so the amount of loss, it will be the amount of loss, just deduct the deductible, minus the deductible. Okay, and you get the value of your insured, the compensation. Okay, and then the second one, meaning that your insured value is less than the amount of required insurance. The insurance company asks you to pay 100,000, but then you only want to make it the sum of amount that you want to insure is only 80,000. So when it comes to compensation, it will be the amounts of insurance purchase, which is your 80,000 over the required one, which is 100,000, and then you multiply by the amount of loss. It depends on how much amount of loss for your property lah, and then you minus the deductible. Okay, and then for the third one, the third condition is you suffered a total loss. You lost everything. Okay, so the amount of compensation will be the amount of insurance purchase and minus the deductible. Okay, we are going to apply these three on the next situation or the next example. Let's look at the next example here. Okay, if you look at example 6, this one. Encik Ismail wants to buy fire insurance for his house. The insurable value for the house is 350,000. Okay, this is the one that is required by the insurance company. The fire insurance policy he wants to buy has a co-insurance provision to insure 80% of its insurable value and a deductible of 2,000. So insure 80% and a deductible of 2,000. Okay, hold on. They haven't mentioned about the... Oh, okay, can. Now, if you look at A here, calculate the amount of insurance required by Encik Ismail for the house. So when they ask you to calculate the amount of insurance required, okay, that will be because, sorry, I made a mistake just now. The 350,000 is not the amount of the insurance required because that is the insurable value of the one given by the insurance company. But then if you look at the next line here, the fire insurance policy he wants to buy has a core insurance provision to insure 80%. So when he wants to find out the amount of required insurance, he has to find out the 80% of the 350,000. Therefore, the required insurance is just 280,000. Okay, it depends on the question. And then if you look at B, question B here, Encik Ismail's house caught on fire. So you imagine the house caught on fire and the amount of loss is 25,000. Calculate the amount of compensation that Encik Ismail will receive if he insures his house at the amount of required insurance. Meaning that he insures at the amount which is the same. So this is the first situation. Okay, this one, whereby the insured value is equal to the amount of the required insurance, meaning that he insured 280,000. Okay, so the amount of compensation that he will get is the loss and just minus the deductible of 2,000. So you can get this to 25,000 minus 2,000, the compensation will be 23,000. Okay, that is the amount of the required is the same as the amount that he insured. And then if you look at the second here, Okay, I need to repeat it here. Calculate the amount of compensation that Encik Ismail will receive if he insure his house at a sum of 150,000. So 150,000 is less than 280,000. Okay, and then they ask you, after that you calculate the core insurance. So first we need to calculate the compensation first. To calculate the compensation, you refer back to the situation that we have earlier. Under the three condition, he just insured his house, which is 150,000, which is less than 280,000. So it falls under this condition. So you have to use this formula, whereby the compensation that he get is 150,000, this one, over 280,000. Then you multiply with the sum of loss and minus the deductible. So after you did the calculation with the calculator, you will get 11,392.86 ringgit. Okay, after that, because of this question, they ask you to calculate the co-insurance penalty. How to get the co-insurance penalty? The co-insurance penalty is the total loss, and you deduct the sum of amount that you insured over the sum of amount that is required to be insured, this one. Okay, so it will be 25,000, the total loss, minus 13,392.86. So the core insurance penalty is 11,607.40. Why is there a penalty? Because he insured his house less than the sum of value required. Therefore, there is a penalty for that. Okay. Now we look at the third question. See, Encik Ismail's house suffered a total loss. Total loss meaning that his house totally burned down, nothing left at all. So if he insured his house at a sum of 200,000, calculate the amount of compensation he will receive. So the total loss, he lost everything. Of course, when he insured his house at a sum of 200,000, he just need to minus the deductible, which is 2,000 only. So 200,000 minus the deductible, he is be able to get back 198,000. What if he insured his house at the value of 280,000? He has a total loss. How much will he get? Any idea, class? My question, you listen one more time. What if he insured his house at a sum of 280,000 instead of 200,000? That's very little, right? For example, if you think that your house is a bungalow, it's very worthwhile, you want to pay higher for the insurance, or you make a sum of insurance of 280,000. So after the fire burned down, your house burned down, everything, how much is the amount of compensation that you will get? Follow the same situation or Encik Ismail.
278,000.
Very good. That is 278,000. Who answered that just now?
Yuriko.
Oh, Yuriko. Thank you, Yuriko. That's correct. Very good.
Tuan Yuriko.
Okay, so let us continue down here. Hopefully you understand. Now we look at this one. If the policyholder insures his property with a higher amount than the amount of required insurance, okay, so you look at this sentence again. If he insures his property with a higher amount than the amount of the required insurance. For this case just now, the required amount is 280,000, right? If he insured higher than this, for example, he insured 300,000. You got to imagine what will happen. You see, under the core insurance provision, the compensation calculated using the core insurance formula will exceed the amount of the actual loss incurred. However, the insurance company will only pay the compensation not exceeding the amount of actual loss, and the maximum payment for loss will be equal to the total face value of the insurance purchased by the policyholder. So can you tell me how much is the compensation if he pay higher than that amount, if he pay 300,000? How much is the compensation? No idea? If the actual
200,000.
loss, yes, if the actual loss is 280,000, he will only be paid 280,000. That's it. No, although he paid a higher sum of insured, which is 300,000. Okay, so the best is you're just paying equally or less than that lah. But the best is paying equally lah, according to the sum insured by the company. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we continue. What is core insurance in health insurance? So just now it's a core insurance in the property insurance, your house. Now we move to the core insurance in health insurance. Okay, we look at the paragraph here. In health insurance contracts, core insurance is stipulated by the percentage participation clause. You see a lot of very bombastic word over there. Stipulated means ditetapkan by the percentage participation clause. Clause tu adalah klausa-klausa. It's just like pasal. Particularly for the major medical insurance policy. In this clause, policyholder is required to bear a portion of the medical cost covered by the contract at an agreed rate after being taken into account the deductible provisions. So same thing, we also have deductible in health insurance. If any, for example, 80/20 core insurance percentage participations means that the insurance company will bear 80% of the medical costs covered by the policy and 20% will be borne by the policyholder themselves. Okay, so let us look at the example on how to apply this. This is example 7. Example 7 in your book is on page 89 if you are having your book with you right now. Okay, this is the second last example in this chapter. Many things you need to remember. Okay, example 7. Madam Chen has a major medical insurance policy with the deductible provision of 500. Okay, remember the deductible is 500. And a 75/25 core insurance percentage participation clause in her policy. So this one will be paid by the insurance company. The 25% will be borne by Madam Chen. Calculate the cost of borne by the insurance company and Madam Chen herself if the medical cost covered by her policy is 20,600. So this is the medical cost, the 20,600. So we are going to find the cost that is borne by the insurance company and also the cost that is borne by Madam Chen herself. So before you find the cost borne by both of them, what you need to do is you need to find the medical cost after the deductible of 500. So you need to minus 500 from 20,600 and then you get a 20,100. That is the medical cost after the deductible because the deductible has to be borne by Madam Chen herself. Okay, so the cost that is borne by the insurance company will be the after the deductible here, the medical cost, which is 20,100 multiplied by the 75%. So the answer is 15,075 ringgit. Whereas for Madam Chen, the cost that is borne by her is 25% out of 20,100. But then because of the deductible that is also borne by her, so you add on the deductible. Okay, so the total cost is 5,525 ringgit. Are you okay, class?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, then we look at this part over here, the difference between deductible and core insurance. So you can see directly over here, deductible is the amount the policyholder must pay in advance regardless of the amount of eligible benefits. So this is the amount that is paid by the policyholders. Whereas for core insurance, it's a cost sharing where the policyholders borne a certain percentage of the loss with the insurance company. So it's a cost sharing between the policyholder and the insurance company. Okay, there is a difference between the deductible and also the core insurance. Okay, now we need to see how to choose the best insurance for yourself next time. Also, if you have kids, next time you have to buy insurance for your kids. So you need to choose the best insurance for them. So this is the guideline. First, you got to find out the total coverage needed. how much is the cost needed and what are covered in the insurance. Okay, and then you understand the scope of the coverage, the terms and condition of the policy. There are a lot of terms and conditions in the policy, so you have to read carefully, or you can ask the insurance agent to explain everything to you. Okay, I'm not an insurance agent now, so I can't explain everything. This is just a generally what we learn over here regarding the insurance. Okay, after that, you got to compare the premium rules and insurance benefits, premium rate, sorry. So you are going to check which one is much worth it. Okay, and then of course we are going to take the one which is cheaper and much worth it. And the last one, avoid unnecessary coverage. Which means the coverage that is not needed. You don't need extra coverage. Okay, for example, you buy the motor insurance, you don't need to cover your your mirror is broken and so on. You don't need those coverage. You just need to cover the damage of your car. That is one of it lah. So now we look at example 8. Example 8 is on the situation on how to choose a proper or the best insurance for yourself. Okay, we look at the situation or the condition given over here. This example. Jasnita wants to buy a medical insurance policy for herself. Okay, so she compares the benefit of a policy plan from 2 different insurance company, which is insurance company XX and also insurance company of YY. So if you compare one by one of the benefit over here, the first one, the overall annual limit, both company having the same annual limit, which is 50,000. Hospital room and board, okay, this one. So for XX company, it offers the hospital room at cost of 160 ringgit, but maximum 365 days per annum. So meaning that for the one whole year, you are eligible to stay in the hospital if there's something happen. Whereby for company YY, it insured a hospital room and board of 200 ringgit. It might be more luxurious than the XX company, might be better, might be a single bed, a single room, but then it only covers 200 days per annum, meaning that if you are in serious injuries, you need to stay for one whole year. You cannot leave the hospital and go back home. But then over here, if it only covers 200 days, the rest of 165 days, the cost have to be borne by yourself. Okay. Then when it comes to the ICU, the intensive care unit, so the amount is as charged, meaning that they will cover any amount that is as charged by the hospital. If the hospital charge you 90 ringgit, so you pay that 90 ringgit for maximum 90 days. If the hospital charge you 1,000 ringgit for that ICU, maybe it's very serious, so the insurance also cover the 1,000 ringgit for 90 days. So 90 days, you can see it's already 90,000. Okay, whereas for company YY, it only covers 400 ringgit per day for up to maximum of 90 days. Okay, then we look at the next one. Delhi government hospital cash allowance. So sometimes some of the policy, they have this Delhi government hospital cash allowance. Not every year, only certain, whereby if you stay in the hospital, they will give you allowance. Okay, so this one is 100 ringgit for the one whole year, 365 days. This one is 50 ringgit for 200 days only. Okay, and the last one is the annual premium, meaning that the amount that have to be paid annually or yearly, which is 506 ringgit and 2 cents, but then this one is 637 ringgit and 2 cents. So if you compare slowly, we can see which one is better already over here, right? Okay, so the question asks you, based on the table, which insurance policy plan is better for Jasnita, and then justify your answer. So if you compare this one cannot be compared because they are the same. If you compare this one, of course, this one is better, right? Although the price is lower, maybe you'll get 2 person in one room, but then it's up to maximum of 355 days. And then when it comes to intensive care unit, of course, this one is better as charged. No matter how much they charge, you don't have to worry. Okay, for example, if the hospital charge you 1,000 ringgit, you have to borne another 600 ringgit yourself. Okay, and then for this, the cash allowance, they give you more than what is given in company YY. And then you can see the annual premium, it is also cheaper compared to company YY. Okay, so let us look at the explanation given in your textbooks. This is the solution given. Okay, we look at the solution here. The XX policy plan, okay, sorry, the XX policy plan is better because even though both provide the same overall annual limit of 50,000, the annual premium for XX is lower than YY. So this one, that is what they mentioned, is lower than 637. Besides, the benefits offered are better in terms of coverage period, which is a whole year round for hospital room and board, and Delhi government hospital cash allowance. Okay, so that is mentioned over here. This one is 1 whole year, and also the allowance, this one. Okay. In addition, there's no coverage limit for intensive care unit because the compensation is paid according to the amount charged to the policyholder. So that is regarding the ICU, this one. Okay. Unlike YY, which has a limit of 400 for the same coverage period. Okay. Do you have any questions so far?
No.
Clear,
No.
madam.
Do
No,
you feel sleepy?
no questions.
No question,
Indeed.
huh? A bit, right? Because most of this chapter is basically most about theory. So later on, you are going to do some exercise. Don't have to worry. Okay, I'm going to summarize everything that you learned in this chapter. Very fast. We already finished the whole chapter in 1 week. Okay, so this is what we learned regarding the risk and insurance coverage. You have to know what is the meaning of risk. Remember the meaning of risk. And then under the insurance, it is divided into the life insurance and also the general insurance. Okay, general insurance, we have 5 different general insurance, which is the motor insurance, the fire insurance for the house, medical and health insurance, the personal accident insurance, the PA, and also travel insurance. Hopefully you still remember each of it, like the travel insurance, it involves the land, sea, and also the sky. Okay, so after that you learn how to calculate the insurance premium by using the face value of the policy over X multiplied by the premium rate. And then this is what you learned today, this part only. Solve the problem, which involve the deductible and also the core insurance. Okay, so after this, you can see in your book, we are not going to do this part, the mini project. So this is the last lesson of our Google Meet, meaning that next week will be a holiday, and after that you are coming back to school, right? So as usual, you know that when you have holiday, you will have cuti, right? Cuti sekolah, cuti college. So for your cuti and also today exercise, I combine both of them together. You just need to do all the extensive practice from page 91 to page 93. Okay, which is question number 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to practice all of this. 5, 6, 7, 8, page 92, 9, 10, 11. A lot of wording, right? So you don't have to copy the question as usual. You just need to answer the question properly by stating down the title of the exercise and then the page number, that is 91, and then you start answering the question number 1. Give 3 examples of insurable risk faced by a retailer who owns a shop. So you got to think about it. What are the risks that is faced by a retailer who owns a shop? You got to imagine of it. But then you don't have to worry. You can refer to the answer at the back of the textbook. But then you got to make sure you know how to answer after in the exam later on. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, we have 76 students over here. Before you leave the class, as usual, for my class, I want you to take the attendance in your GC. Okay, I've already posted it in the GC. So this is the attendance for today, which is the 26th of March. Okay, after that, the one that we have discussed just now also, please turn in your work in the insurance parts over here, self-practice 3.1b. Okay, is there anything or any questions that you would like to ask or that we can discuss together? Anything, class?
So far, no,
No
madam.
questions.
No questions, Yes? No question. Okay, so if you have any question from Cikgu Surani's class, you can ask her personally through WhatsApp or me through Telegram and WhatsApp. So I'll see you when school reopen. Enjoy your holiday, class.
Okay, madam.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you,
madam.
Thank you,
madam.
madam.
Thank you, madam. Nice day.
Thank you, madam.
Bye.
Happy holiday.
Nice
Yeah.
day.
For the
Thank you,
teacher, madam.
You too. Have a nice
Thank you,
day.
madam.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day. Happy holiday,
Yeah.
madam.
Happy holiday.